right, guys, welcome to another episode of the Rock and Roll Dungeon. Here we go. We're going to kick this bad boy off.
What are we kicking it off with, Rusty Bones?
We're going to kick it off tonight.
Dungeon.
Well, usually we do introductions. But
Let's introduce.
All right. Well, you and I are the ones speaking. Maybe we're the only two here, but let's find
We're the
out.
only ones here.
Steve to my left. Dano.
Testes. 1, 2, 3.
Is it on? Is that on? Is that thing on?
Chad.
That thing
I'm
is
here
on.
too.
And me, Rusty Bones, is in the house.
Rusty Bones.
All right, well, let's do our
What
honorary.
do we have? What do we got
What is
today?
this?
Okay,
What
so
is this?
tonight we're gonna throw you for a loop. We usually doing some kind of whiskey, bourbon, something along those lines. Today
Usually
we're going
brown.
we're going to be doing Corazon Tequila de Agave.
This looks like somebody's melted ice after the drink has been drunk.
After the whiskey.
What's going on
When
here?
we're doing whiskey on these occasions, yes, sir, it does. But tonight we are drinking Añejo Single Barrel. What it is they have W.L. Weller bourbon in this. Once they pour all the bourbon out, they
So there
put
is
the
a connection.
tequila in there. And so we're going to be tasting tequila with a bourbon finish.
Very
Okay,
nice.
I'll be the judge of that.
It is an añejo.
Yes. That is very good.
Lordy.
I'm not really sure what it tastes like, but it's good.
That is exceptional.
That is really good. We might have to fill it up to the top instead of a pour.
This when
That is
I think of how
exceptional.
this tastes, I think of one word. Dangerous.
I've
That
got-
you could accidentally drink this whole bottle if you were just chilling and kicking
Well,
back, and
I'm
it goes
gonna
down that smooth.
I'm gonna
What's the proof on this
suggest that
Probably
But-
80. Normally it's 80.
that
What is it?
you would get halfway through that bottle and then be passed out.
Well, yeah. Well, it all depends on how fast I'm drinking
Oh, yeah.
it.
Well,
Over a 3-hour period, for sure,
you're
I
right.
wouldn't get through it.
You're
If
right.
I pounded it, I'd get through it and then die.
In 15 minutes,
Oh, yeah.
you're right. You could drink that whole bottle.
Yeah.
And then it'd be
And
a
then
nice
you'd be
trip to
taking me
the
to the
ER.
hospital. Yeah.
Well, let's get this bad boy kicked off. Let's rock and roll.
What's up?
All right, what's up, everybody? What's up? So we got some got some new releases. We got Bon Jovi with a new release in
Living on a prayer.
June called Forever. That sounds like kind of a lullaby or alibi.
Or a salutation.
Salutation, yeah.
Greetings
So-
and salutations.
Yes.
This will probably be their last record.
It sounds like it by
Uh-oh.
the title.
If you watch the documentary, also, this is probably their last record.
Is John Bon
And probably their
he's
last.
well, isn't his throat jacked? He's got
It is.
something
Yes,
going
and the
on.
documentary covers that largely.
Okay. So, this is the long goodbye for John Bon.
Actually,
he's
when
going
I
to
got
tell you never say goodbye.
when I got finished watching the documentary, they left it where it was still unsure he was going to be able to tour, like get his voice all the way back to that. But I know and he was very serious about not wanting to tour if he couldn't do it right. But they
Yes, he's like, I'm not going to give 80%. It's going to be 100
Exactly.
or forget it.
But I think they've got a tour book, so I think some progress has been made.
So apparently he's cool with 75%.
Well, or he's
We don't
gotten
know.
better.
Or he's on
He's definitely in the documentary. You're definitely see he's working very hard to get his voice to where he wants it.
a very cool band, in my opinion, is a band called The Who, H-U, The Who, from China. They've covered Metallica songs, but they play like all like indigenous instruments. There's some
Yes,
electric
I've heard of
guitar and
them.
stuff in there too. But there's a album coming out in June called it's live at Glastonbury. I think that's how you pronounce it. But anyways, if you haven't listened to The Who, the H-U, Who,
Are they doing an
check 'em
album
out.
called Live at Loads?
Live at Leads would have been better.
So I've got one.
Potato.
So Dan and I made a trip to Amoeba Records up in Hollywood.
Did you see Sammy Starr?
No, we did. Yes, we did. Actually, matter of fact, we
It's
did.
right in front
Oh
of it.
yeah,
Right
we
in
walked
front.
right over. it.
Yeah. It was just getting late.
Yeah, it
Remember,
was like still had the plastic
was-
on it.
yeah.
And everything. Yeah.
Nice.
So we, but for me, I bought several items, but the one thing that I've been looking for quite some time that I was able to pick up was Piper. So that has been on my bucket list of albums I want to get, and I've got both of them. So I am complete.
You are complete.
Very
Piper
good.
If you
opened
don't-
up for Kiss in the 70s.
If you don't know Piper, it is Billy Squire before he became on his own Billy Squire.
We like some Billy Squire. He's a rocker.
Why isn't Billy Squire bigger?
No, he's pretty
We'll
big
save
actually.
that for
I
a
heard.
future discussion.
Well, I can answer that question for you right now.
Oh, wait a
by
second.
one video.
By one
Why
video.
me-
One
rock me
video.
tonight.
One video.
Yes, but I also heard
It's true.
he is the most sampled artist of all time.
Really?
That
what I
can't be
heard.
true.
I don't
That
know.
can't be true.
I've sort of heard. I don't know if it's true or not.
Sampled?
Sampled. Look it up. I don't know the answer.
Ask Diddy. Oh, we can't get a hold of him.
So anyway,
Too soon?
he owns all of his music.
I don't think so.
No.
I
don't
mean,
think
he's
so.
a smart guy. He didn't need to. Rock Me Tonight might have killed his career, but if he's
The
making
song
all this
didn't
money,
kill his career.
No,
No,
it
the
was
song did.
video. It was
Video
that
did.
video. That video
Video.
was death. It was nails and a hammer.
That was Olivia
watch it.
Newton-John right
Oh.
there. I mean, that was Let's Get Physical.
It's not a horrible video. It's just way outside what he was.
What is it again? What's it called?
Rock You Tonight.
Rocky Tonight.
It's an
Oh,
empty
yeah.
video. It was plastered
imagine-
all over. This is the
Imagine
guy
as
who
much
did Stroke
fluorescent
Me.
clothing as you can.
All right.
You ever
Dancing.
seen
You don't have to imagine. Just
you know
go
the
watch
song
Just go watch
She's a Maniac kind of thing
Yeah,
where she's got
uh-huh.
the
Yeah.
leg warmers and everything on like
Right.
that.
Flashdance?
It's kind of like Billy Squire wearing that stuff, ripping off his shirt.
Oh, it's really
Sounds glorious.
it. It was some bad choice making
Yeah.
right
It
there.
was, yeah. Make sure you've
And
got
it
some
did hurt him.
Corazon.
It did hurt him.
4x4. 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 4x4.
Our 4x4 today
Yes, CB.
is the top 4 guilty pleasure bands or artists. So, in other words, like now, obviously, we're older guys now, so we're not embarrassed by anything.
By old, he
We're-
means 33.
We're secure enough in what we like that we don't care what other people think. But when you were young, there were certain bands that were outside. We were all rockers when we were young. In the 80s and late 70s, we were hard rockers, heavy metal guys. But there were other bands that were around that maybe some of us liked that maybe you didn't necessarily talk about those bands. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Did you guys have anything you would like to add on how you approached this list, came up with this list?
So to me, this would be a very difficult one because I really listen to.
Nothing
hard rock
but
stuff.
metal. You weren't
No.
ashamed of nothing.
No, I mean,
rock and roll show.
it was pretty much the MTV era. So if I'm going to go anywhere with that, then I would say like, okay, I'm listening to what's on MTV every single day. We can't drive. There is no internet. There's nothing. There's no YouTube. There's nothing like that. You're listening to whatever MTV is pushing down our throat. So if it wasn't the hard rock that I'm listening to from the albums, cassettes,
It was just
Finally-
coming on the MTV rotation.
yeah. So I
and
mean,
there was a song that came up and you would like it.
that's the only place I
That
could
wasn't
go.
heavy metal.
And I might be
That's
like listening to it underneath my sheets, in the bedroom, so nobody could hear it and see me. Actually, they could hear, but anyway, it
Just
would
admit it. Modern English, I Met With You is on your list.
That's a great song, actually. I like that
So
song, but that
underneath-
wasn't on there. But I would put it on there. That's
Yeah.
a great song.
It is a good
Underneath the
song.
sheets.
Maybe.
Well, that was the other modern English.
So I don't really have an order, but anyway, I
Well,
can throw them out there.
This
and I can
will
just,
be our. This will be an order. We'll start with 4 and we'll go down to 1. But yeah, it's our top 4. Let's start with Dan though this time.
All right. Number 4, Depeche Mode.
Depeche Mode. So when did you like Depeche Mode in the 80s, late 80s?
Yeah.
When
Mhm.
and you were ashamed of liking them?
No.
not fully ashamed.
I
But
never really have been, but that
Wasn't
would be
really
a band. That
that-
would probably be a band, like you said, like hanging around with the dudes that hung around with,
like
that-
the guys in
I
chaotic
would-
culture weren't necessarily like down with Depeche Mode.
Actually, I think most of them probably were. But maybe
Did you understand this assignment?
Yes, I did.
Just kidding.
But there are some other bands that I was in that they would have been kind of like,
but that works. Depeche Mode would
sure.
fall into this.
yeah.
Well, it would for you, but maybe it doesn't for Dan. Maybe that's just a band that
this
he
is
likes.
a rock and roll show. They're not.
It is a rock and roll show, but these are guilty pleasures.
These are guilty pleasures. These are bands that you listen to and that you like, but
Well,
the
it's the
heavy
truth.
metal culture wasn't necessarily about these bands.
Absolutely. So it was Depeche Mode for Dan.
Yep.
Yeah, what do you got, Steve?
Mine was, as I was starting as a musician, I was exposed to jazz and jazz artists that I would never talk about with my long hair and leather jacket to any of my rock and roll friends. And
Because you're embarrassed, or because they just flat
It
out
just-
wouldn't
it just
understand what
wasn't
you're
cool.
talking about?
they wouldn't understand what I was talking about. And B, it just wasn't cool. It
Was it cool?
It's just
So jazz was not cool.
well, no, jazz is very cool.
No.
Jazz is very cool.
Jazz fusion or jazz?
Well, actually, this is jazz fusion. My first guilty pleasure. However, I could make a list of 20, but the ones that there are a couple on here that, again,
Well, what's your number 4?
Return to Forever. And I can see the deer in the headlights all the way around.
Only because I don't even know who you're talking
Yeah, I
about. Who's
don't
Return
Well,
to Forever?
That's the deal.
Al Di Meola,
Ah.
Stanley Clark,
Good Lord, man. That's good.
Chick
stuff.
Corea,
That's what they called themselves, Return to Forever?
and Lenny White.
I know, obviously, that band.
Yes.
That's what they called themselves?
Return to Forever.
Wow, total brain loss there.
Yes, that
That was
was
some good stuff.
that was insanity
So
music.
that was your guilty pleasure.
that was number 4. That was because again these.
That's a stretch for a musician, though, because you would expect a musician to listen to that.
Well, I've got 3 other musicians here that I just had a deer in the headlight look as soon as
Well,
I
because
said Return to
I wasn't
Forever.
sure what you were talking about. Once you start naming the names, it's like, oh yeah, well,
Yeah.
obviously. But those are
Regardless,
musicians. Those
you
are
did-
musicians
Well, I think it
in that band.
qualifies because you didn't talk about it with your buddies.
I didn't talk.
Yeah.
It absolutely
It does, it
qualifies.
does. Yeah.
There was the heavy metal musicians that I hung out with didn't appreciate jazz. They didn't appreciate anything other than what was the heaviest stuff coming out of Europe, England specifically, and what was going on in the United States, in New York, in San Francisco, and LA. What's heavy metal? What's going on? I was like, man, you should hear these dudes playing jazz. They're actually, some of these dudes can play faster than your heavy metal heroes. And what? Yeah, they wouldn't have anything to do with it.
just want to play heavy metal. We don't
This is
want
a
to learn
rock and
our
roll
instruments.
show, man.
You got some rock and roll guys in there.
Rusty, what you got now for number 4?
Again,
Or
I mean,
you're
this
the
is
first
a
one
tough
you wanna
one
mention.
because it would just be what's on MTV, but I'll go a different direction and go with Hank Williams Jr.
Hank Williams Jr.
That's good
All
stuff.
right. All right.
Yeah,
I like me
I
some
mean,
Hank
in
Williams.
this day and age, respected by
I think
everybody.
all the
pretty
Hanks
much.
are great. 1, 2, and 3.
All the Hanks.
Country
Really?
boy can survive.
Is there
Yeah.
a 3? I don't know about 3.
Yeah, there's a
Hank
3.
3 is freaking punk rock, man.
Really?
Yes, he did
Like country punk or just a
He has pure country stuff, but he also has stuff that he's collaborated with Pantera. Like you should listen to some of his
Wow.
stuff. Like he's
I'm gonna go. That's my ride home. I'm
He's-
listening to
yeah.
Hank Williams III.
Yes.
Is it Hank Williams III?
yep. It's Hank 3. So just look
Hank
up
3.
Hank 3 on
Okay.
Spotify.
All right.
Yeah, some really
Good
cool stuff.
recommendation. All right, my number 4 is Olivia Newton-John from Australia.
Interesting.
Is she doing Xanadu?
Beautiful woman.
Yeah.
I am one of those few fans. I don't know how many fans. I'm just kidding,
She had
but
quite a bit of
I'm
people.
one of those guys that likes Xanadu. The movie Xanadu is another one of those best worst movies kind of things. Soundtrack though, phenomenal.
Who's
The
on that
ELO
soundtrack?
Well, the ELO songs are phenomenal on there. The
Yes.
Olivia Newton-John songs are great on there. There's a Tube song on there that is a duet with Olivia Newton-John doing like an Andrew Sisters thing, which is a phenomenal song. It's a great soundtrack. And
It
Xanadu.
sounds like more than a guilty
But
pleasure. This
Olive-
sounds like this is
Oh yeah. Well,
That's
I was,
there-
I was
there
into
might have-
it, and
Might
Olivia
have been some
Newton-John
carnal
was
pleasure on
not
this one.
what everybody else was into, but I was
So-
into it.
let's move along to Greece. Was she? This is not
Grease
her
is
music.
pre-Xanadu.
Hey.
Not her music. I'm saying, was it?
Hey.
sure,
Xanadu
she's a good
Xanadu
or
is
was
the
it the
entry
leather-
drug. Xanadu is the entry drug, and then you get some Sandra D.
Right, but which was the goody two shoe Sanity or the leather leather?
Are you asking which one do we like?
Yeah, which one was the better one?
They're both
Hey, it was,
good.
it was the same mama.
Okay,
When it's all wrapped up, it's the same mama.
okay, all right.
All right, number 3, Dano.
Number 3 for me is a band called Gunship. They're what would be considered kind of like synthwave. It's like electronic music. It's so Rusty. When we went to Amoeba, the one album that I got that had the cover that you were like, oh, that's cool. It was all like foil, and it had the anime like artwork on it.
There were
and
some
stuff.
cool looking covers.
Yeah.
You
So,
got-
I mean,
That was Gunship.
yeah. So for me, it's like a combination of the art of it, but also like I like electronic music, like Nine Inch Nails, Depeche Mode, some of the new wave stuff. And Gunship is kind of a newer version of some of that 80s stuff. In fact, there is a song that Dave Lombardo plays on Gunship, and that's how I found out about him. Actually, it was like it came as suggested on Spotify, and it said featuring Dave Lombardo. I'm like, oh, this must be heavy. So I play it, and it's like, like
It's
80s
not. It's
new wave, but it's really good. It's catchy. So, but you play it for a metal guy. Well, some metal guys will be like, what the hell is this crap? But obviously Dave Lombardo kind of likes it. So
Sure.
But
he has very diverse musical taste, actually.
yeah. So good stuff.
All right, Steve, number 3.
Number 3 for me is the king himself, Elvis.
Elvis.
And the reason, the short reason why is that at the time that he was a guilty pleasure. I grew up on Elvis. Literally was a part of an Elvis family.
It was kind of a moldy oldie by the time you got.
Honestly, when it was still the early 80s, Elvis is, he's only 3-4 years dead at this point. And, but the whole thing is you're at the fat Elvis now. And so
1977 he passed?
August 77 is when he passed away.
Was it cool to like the king of rock and roll?
Well, it was kind of like he was the king of the has-been, right? When he died, it was...
So when he was in that Vegas period, he was looked at differently. At the time, he was actually doing it.
At the end, when he started...
putting weight on and...
he started that Vegas kick after the comeback. So in 69, he was literally the coolest dude out there.
Well, sure.
But that's when he started eating whole loaves of bread with a whole jar of peanut butter and 5 bananas. And that was the midnight snack. Somewhere, I think it's around here. We got, there's one of those. But that was, he's
pointing at a whiskey bottle.
It's a bottle of Elvis. But there is a bottle of Elvis whiskey that's called Midnight Snack that is peanut butter jelly and banana whiskey. I would recommend it. I have a bottle at my house, and it is a beautiful thing. So
it's tasty, huh?
Yeah. So Elvis. I've never stopped listening to Elvis. I've always listened to Elvis, and Elvis was a guilty pleasure.
Okay,
He was the king.
Rusty.
I was a rocker, man.
Come on.
So you watched MTV for hours, like all of us.
There you go. Yeah, it happened. We had
You didn't want to say it.
We had a breakthrough. I gotta tell you on Duran Duran, I was never really a fan, but I saw him at Kaboo 3 or 4 years ago when they opened, sort of opened the world again in San Diego, a really cool festival, and Duran Duran headlined, and that was one of the coolest shows I ever went to. Hanging out with some friends, a very famous friend, but was just having a great time and hanging out with family, friends, rocking out. And I went, yeah, I know that tune. Yeah, I know that. Hey, I know a lot of these tunes.
Well, that's the thing. It's a hit list.
Yeah,
their set list is a hit list.
Yeah, I like Duran.
You don't even have to own a Duran Duran album. If you go to a Duran Duran concert, every song you're gonna know it.
And that was exactly it. And it was energy of people rocking out, and it made me feel like I was back in my 20s. Getting all sweaty, jumping around with a bunch of people, and it was really cool.
Well, Andy Taylor was a rocker, the guitar player of the band,
and John Taylor was sort of a rocker.
He was for sure a bass player.
He's a fantastic bass player. He's a fantastic bass player.
For sure.
Yes.
And then, of course, Nick, with a lot of the songwriting and so on and so forth. I never owned a Duran Duran album back in those days.
Sounds like you know more about him than I do.
But they were one of those bands that, I mean,
You saw 'em
you're
on
under
TV,
a rock
man.
if you didn't know anything about them.
Video was played all the time. Hungry Like the Wolf.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
so many of those.
As a young boy, those videos, they had X-rated version of those.
Well, I remember when the Reflex video came out.
Oh,
And that's all live, and it's very rock and roll. I mean, the song isn't, but the live staging and everything for that time period.
Why don't you use it?
Rusty, did you have anything to say about your
Yeah,
guilty
no
pleasure,
kidding,
man?
We all did.
Because we all, the rest of us did.
Apparently, Duran Duran was all of our guilty pleasure.
Apparently, man. All I could say was, "Hey, I ate."
All right, my
Yeah.
number 3 is Barry Manilow. I think Barry Manilow is a great songwriter. I think Mandy is one of the best songs ever written, and I listened to his. Actually, I had his greatest hits album also through the Columbia House,
Nice.
and
was
it's
singing-
a double album.
I can tell
And
you right
it's
now,
I love it.
Manilow's got a residency going on over at the Westgate.
Yeah, I don't need to go see him live.
Well,
But the
I-
songs,
They changed one of the bars. Okay, this is where I saw Tom Kiefer a few weeks ago, and they've
he was playing in the same venue that Barry Manilow does his
literally
opened
the
for
Westgate.
Barry.
No, yeah, he opened
I
for
just heard.
Could you imagine?
I think
No.
you just said Mary Banilow.
Did I?
Mary
Yeah.
Manilow.
Hey,
It's
I'm just
it's in the
experimenting with it.
it's in the Westgate Hotel, which is the old Las Vegas Hilton. It is the stage that Elvis played on.
All right, we're
Wait
on
for
number
it.
2. Dan,
All right, I got mine's just general here because it's kind of a guilty pleasure, but I like listening to soundtracks, like movie soundtracks.
That's
I do
cool.
too. I
Yeah.
own several.
Yeah, there's some great music in soundtracks. I mean,
Oh,
and,
sure.
And to me, like that's
We gotta
sometimes the
figure
best.
the bands are trying to bring it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's gonna
Well,
it's gonna be performed.
okay, so that stuff also, but like the actual.
Are you talking about the atonal,
Yes,
the
the orchestrated-
soundscape stuff?
yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's
like
that
Hans
too.
Zimmer, like
Yes.
like Interstellar soundtrack.
Yes.
Like I like sitting there, like when I'm working, sometimes I don't like music that's too participatory because like there's music that where you like have to kind of actively listen to it, and where it's nice sometimes when you're working to have something that's a little bit more passive in the background,
Sure.
where it just kind of creates a mood, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I mean I really like soundtracks are awesome.
So is that your answer? Just
That's the
soundtracks?
answer.
You don't have a soundtrack?
Well, okay, if I have to name one, I'll say Interstellar. There you go.
Okay. By the way, Last Action Hero that I just mentioned, also Hans Zimmer.
Really? Okay,
Hans Zimmer.
I'll check that.
Very
Yes.
nice.
okay.
You check it out.
Cool.
Number
There's
2.
Hans Zimmer
Yeah.
documentary. Watch it.
Okay.
Really good. Netflix.
Number 2. Now, this is the reason why I have these guilty pleasures. I told you I came from an Elvis family. Now, if I needed to before I was able to drive and I needed to get a ride to rehearsals or I needed to go someplace, my mother would have to drive me. She was the one with a license. And so,
Funny how that works when you're young.
so we had our Monte Carlo, our 72 Monte Carlo, and with the 8-track player. And it turned into a guilty pleasure only because it was burned into my head. But Elvis was one of the 8 tracks, and the Carpenters.
Oh, that's a good selection.
And because I can literally sing the entire Close to You 8-track, because that's the only, she burned that thing until the tape wouldn't play anymore, and then bought another Close to You 8-track.
Karen
I
is
can't
amazing
think
drummer.
of-
Karen is amazing, and I can.
She's a great
here's
musician,
Here's
yeah.
here's a fun fact. My family paid a premium to have my grandmother buried next door to Karen Carpenter.
Really?
Wow.
Yes, at Forest Lawn
Wow.
in Cyprus. Yes.
Wow.
So-
I can't think of Close to You without thinking of Rick Moranis from Parenthood. That's all I'll say about that.
they're
Yeah, that's all
buried
you
next to each other. That's close to you.
That's close to my
About
grandmother,
the closest you can get.
Catherine Brandon. Yes, there she is.
That's cool.
Wow.
So, what number are we on?
So
Number
Number
2.
2.
So, do I go with David Allen Coe, maybe Waylon Jennings this time? No,
Mark and
I'm
stuff.
going to go with In Excess.
Oh, good and band.
Why is that,
That
a
was a
guilty,
guilty
pleasure?
pleasure?
Yeah, in
Because I was
excess.
a rocker.
That's rock and roll. What are you
Dude,
talking
It's
about?
rock and roll. It's not like the Kiss,
No.
There's too many people on
Still,
stage.
In excess
Come
rocks.
on. What was your other chip?
Well, can I go
choice?
like Tom Petty cars? You know, there's a
Tom
lot
Petty.
of them. It's not
This
hard
is
rock.
a rock and
roll show.
It's supposed
Well,
to be
you're a
guilty
self-proclaimed
pleasures.
Eagles fan, so those
I
fit
just
right
gave
in.
you the Carpenters, and you're throwing out In Excess.
I'm throwing out In Excess, man.
No.
All right.
I
Well,
love
that's all
In
right.
Excess. Good stuff.
The Bengals.
My number
'cause-
two.
The Bengals.
That would be on my
now.
Now we're talking.
You're talking. See, this is how Rusty Bones does it. He clouds this. He clouds it with a false answer.
The
and then
problem
throws
is,
it.
to Rusty, they're still guilty pleasures, so he backs into these.
Well, I mean,
He's like, I don't have it. I wouldn't even listen to something I don't like.
This is a rock and roll show. What are you talking about? Echo on the Bunny Man.
all right. So if we're watching the MTV videos,
Banana
I mean,
Rama.
what was better than? How do you say her name? Susanna Hoff, right? Susanna Hoff.
Susanna Half Show.
I mean, her eyes walk like, you know. I mean, she was
yeah.
amazing. Like,
She's very
she's
pretty.
beautiful.
Was she
She's
gonna
still
walk
very,
like a-
she's
she's
aged
very
very
pretty
well.
still, yeah.
She's
she
gonna
has.
walk like an Egyptian. Mm-hmm. Oh,
All right.
There's my guilty pleasure.
My number 2
Susanna.
is from a duo, a phenomenal songwriting team. They both sing. Air Supply. I was
All right.
and am a fan of Air Supply. I think their songwriting, their melodies, their sound it's great.
but wouldn't that fall into the bigger genre of yacht rock?
Sure, they do. They fall into that
No,
category.
I know that Air Supply does, but for you, like, okay, Air Supply's there, but hey, you get a little yacht rock going on.
Well, this isn't the top 4 genre guilty pleasures.
no, I'm just, but you could say yacht rock in general.
I could not say that yacht rock was all a guilty pleasure because there's plenty of yacht rock groups that I didn't have an issue with at all.
When like
Steely
Jimmy
Dan,
Buffett be the biggest.
Doobie
yacht rock?
Brothers.
Okay. All right.
Those guys all fall into that category.
They do.
Toto.
They do. Hey, get that Toto 4 disc off your desk.
It's the second time you referenced that. Air Supply is, I would more consider them soft rock.
Yeah.
But they are on, if you listen to yacht rock, they probably come onto those stations for sure. Do you know Air Supply at all, Dan?
No, I mean, I probably know some of their songs, but
Well, you
not,
definitely know them if you heard them because they're those
some
kind of songs that come
popular
out
stuff.
on a lot of different
the yacht
stuff.
rock
Or
stuff.
whether you're walking in the grocery store kind of thing.
Oh, you definitely hear him in the grocery
Yeah.
store.
Do
Maybe the
you
elevator.
do you know Air Supply much?
I don't. I mean, I know if you were to play it.
Are you all,
I know that
all
song.
out
I
of
know that song,
love,
but
Rusty Bones?
All
off
out of
the
love,
top of my
great
head, I don't.
song. Every Woman in the World.
sure I do. I know them. I do. I just don't know them.
So lost without
All
you.
right. I'm going to make you guys Air Supply fans. That's one of my
Is
goals.
that like I'm all out of love?
All right, number one.
Right? Huh?
Number one,
Number
Mr.
one.
Dan.
Genesis. And it's kind of a tough one too because Genesis is pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
you guys make fun of me. What about him? That's Genesis. That's rock.
Yeah, but there was some newer
Well, he
Genesis.
came right out with it. He didn't hem haw for 5 minutes.
That's right,
before he-
Corazon man. What is
There was some,
rocker.
there's
How
some
would you
newer
consider
Genesis that they could be a little guilty, but I think like the older stuff, and I mean it's just like great music, you know.
Oh, it
so
is.
it's really
Whoa.
tough to say that's a guilty pleasure because I think Genesis is awesome. Like I wouldn't really hesitate to say that I like Genesis, you know. But
It's
the
true.
pop Genesis when they became a 3-piece. That is a little bit more kind of mainstream, and obviously those songs were also like the top of the game in the 80s. But the Peter Gabriel Genesis,
fantastic.
there isn't a rocker worth his salt that would not put their stamp of approval.
I mean,
on
I even
those
like the
records.
Peter Gabriel solo stuff too.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I dig that
For
stuff.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
For sure. Peter Gabriel's fantastic.
Mhm.
It's true.
I wouldn't feel guilty about anything
No.
connected with him.
It is the truth. And it's interesting. So for my number one, I literally, okay, so Genesis, I had Genesis on my list, but I crossed them out. They were my old number 3. I had my old number 1. I'm crossing them off right now because I've already got a jazz induction, but it was Miles Davis and John Coltrane. They were a guilty pleasure. I did listen to them all the time, but they're not my number 1. The number 1 guilty pleasure for me is someone that I saw live 3 times. The original male heartthrob. The original male heartthrob.
Leaf Garrett.
We already said Elvis. Leaf
A
Garrett.
generation in front of the king,
Frank Sinatra.
Old Blue Eyes.
Oh,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
Yeah, as a young metal kid, you're probably not saying
But I
I'm a
love, man, Frank Sinatra.
fan.
I got to tell you
Well,
what,
you can't
So
deny.
good.
there's,
You're just an old butthead if you,
Right.
if
Well,
you say you
it's-
don't like Frank
yeah,
Sinatra
well, just
or don't appreciate it.
You've got a pretty cool list, and it's not going to be as cool as your list.
Because I don't listen to anything I feel guilty about.
Wow,
this is a
Chad.
rock and roll show.
Well, Chad, you should really open up your mind and listen to other types of music.
What do you got as number one?
Straight up number one. This is easy. Huey Lewis in the News.
What is guilty about that? What is guilty about Huey Snoogish?
I wouldn't call him a guilty pleasure, but I could see how
Others
someone
I
would.
could see how someone would.
For
though.
sure.
Yeah.
If you're, especially since that's popular music,
Well,
right in the
yeah.
80s, we're going to get into our featured subject, and that's right in the mix of that 1984 time.
Well, if this is it, please let me know.
So I would say that album, Sports, would be like one of those that is a greatest hits album. It's not, but I
Right.
play the songs after
It's
song
not the
after
heart of
song.
rock and
It's
roll?
got everything on that
But
album.
the best Huey
That one's
Lewis
not, I don't think.
song is not on that record.
What's that?
Do you believe in love?
In drugs?
No.
What?
Do
No.
you believe in
Do
love?
you-
Oh, love.
God, I want a new drug.
Oh no, I got him. I had a mix up.
No, do you believe in love? Matter of fact, I wrote a 24E song that answers that question.
So I would Huey Lewis, but I mean we could go with like Casey and the Sunshine Band would be another great choice for me. But anyway,
I don't know if that's a great choice. Maybe
a
we should
great
just keep that
choice.
as a guilty
I-
pleasure.
disco is great music.
Just kidding. They
Cool
had
in the Gang, Earth, Wind and Fire. Come on, man, disco's rocks.
And the list goes on.
Well, let's just keep the theme going. My
Okay.
number one, and I'm surprised none of you guys said it, is the Bee Gees.
Wow, great.
The
band.
first song I ever can recollect hearing as a human being is "Staying Alive."
Really?
Yeah, and I remember I think I was probably 2 years old, honestly, and it was playing out of the big living room stereo speakers, and I remember just walking up to the speaker in awe, just like, what is this sound? Like I was like blown away. Like
Well, again,
is this heaven?
in disco you got those bass lines, right?
Mhm.
But I'm not necessarily saying I love the Bee Gees because they were disco. I mean, before they were disco, they were very much, rock
Mhm.
pop music of that late 60s, 70s sound. When disco hit, they became the kings of disco. But even during that era, they had some great songs, some great melodies. The soundtrack for Saturday Night Live has some great, forget Staying Alive and those kind of songs. I mean,
Saturday
everybody knows
Night
those
Fever.
songs. It's the other songs.
Was it
Just
Massachusetts or something?
great. Well, that's earlier. That's when they're before the disco time. But yes,
Right.
during those times, great.
Barry is an amazing songwriter. Wrote so many hits for so many different people besides just himself.
Yeah, he wrote the
Even the youngest
song,
brother.
the title song for Grease.
I do have to admit, CB,
Thought that was Frankie Valli.
Bee
He
Gees
sang
were
it.
an honorable mention to my list, but it really was only Saturday Night Fever. That's the only Bee Gees record I had, and I wasn't going down to Pure Records to buy another Bee Gees record because they knew me at Pure Records, and I could only buy Kiss and Saxon, and
That's a guilty pleasure then.
it was a
You
guilty.
can't go buy something at the record
It-
store because you don't want people to
I
see
got
you.
it from the. I got it from the record. The record
Columbia.
House. Or they're going to send me records. So they sent me. It was just like I couldn't find 13. So I said, sure, give me that one. And it was,
So I'll have to say that, you guys have opened my mind to some of the music that where you guys keep talking and going like we just mentioned Frankie Valli. Well, you mentioned Barry wrote the song, but Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons are great. I mean,
They're
so many,
great.
Oh, yeah.
so many hits after hits. But I mean,
When you
anyway.
get back into the 50s and 60s, it's almost kind of
Buddy Holly.
it's kind of hard to even count them as a guilty pleasure because their
Well, it was
history,
popular.
Mhm.
It was
their rock
po-
history. So
Right.
you have to acknowledge that they're there no
Yeah.
matter if you like it or not.
But that was popular music. That
Then-
was the mainstream. The late 50s, 60s music that was on
sure.
the airwaves. That was what was rolling.
Yeah, doo wop and
Absolutely.
Phil
It wasn't
Haley.
like they had
and-
the option of heavy metal at that time.
Nope,
It
they
was
did
just-
not have
No,
the option.
they had just discovered kicking in the speaker to get that distorted sound. It's just when
It's coming. It's on the way.
it's on the way.
Elvis is on the scene.
Elvis is on the scene. We're gonna
He's
get
throwing a
this
party in the county
kinky haired
jail.
dude playing some wild stuff with a wah-wah pedal. No one knows what in the world is happening.
Well, some good bands, guys. Some good discussion. Let's get into our next segment.
This is the featured subject.
All right, gentlemen, we are going to our featured subject, and it is going to be a discussion about 2 epic years in the 80s of album releases. We're going to talk about the albums that came out in these years. The years are 1980 and 1984. And then when we're all done, we are going to attempt to answer which year had the most impact on this genre of hard rock and heavy metal. What do you think, guys?
It's a tall order.
It is a tall order.
It's a tall order. How much time do we have?
We've got infinite amount of time.
Ben, it's okay. We can do this.
All right. So let me read off the albums in our genre of music. And it's not a exhaustive list because albums came out like crazy
And
back
I want to
then.
thank you for putting me in the shackles while doing this. So I
No. So these are the albums that came out in 1980. Iron Maiden, debut album Iron Maiden. Motorhead, Ace of Spades. Diamond Head, Lightning to the Nations. AC/DC, Back in Black.
Did they have a new singer in AC/DC at that time?
I believe they did. Ozzy Osbourne, Blizzard of Oz. Judas Priest, British Steel. It's hard to believe these albums came out same year. Saxon, Strong Arm of the Law. Saxon, Wheels of Steel. Both came out in 1980. Scorpions, Animal Magnetism. Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell. Def Leppard, On Through the Night. Rush, Permanent Waves. Van Halen, Women and Children First. And Kiss, Unmasked. There's some debut albums here. Iron Maiden's first album is 1980. Ozzy Osbourne, Blizzard of Oz, debut album. Def Leppard, On Through the Night is now on the scene. Black Sabbath has been around, but Dio is now on the scene with Black Sabbath.
Another new singer
Yeah,
in their band, meaning
exactly.
AC/DC.
AC/DC is Back in Black with Brian Johnson after Bon Scott's passing.
Isn't that funny that he's the new guy?
Yeah.
Now it's 2024 and now he's the old
still-
guy, but he's still the new
he's
guy.
still the new guy.
He'll always be the new guy.
Yeah.
The other guy,
He'll always be the
He'll
new
always
guy.
be the
Although
new guy.
I don't think I would look at a picture of him and go, that guy's new.
right? 44 years ago.
What do
crazy.
you do?
Crazy. So what are some of these albums that stand out for you guys? I mean, they all pretty.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. Which of these albums did you live with at the time? Like you had the album and you played it.
Literally all of them.
Well, I
All
was,
of them for you.
Literally all of them.
So you're a little older than us. So
Yes, I am.
you're a little bit more. You didn't have a job by 1980, did you?
I did. I was doing. I was doing real shoddy electrical work.
Already, okay.
Yeah, I
So
was
you had a
burning
little bit of
down
money to
A little bit of money
build your collection
to
up.
purchase these records. I was past the Columbia House phase of my life. I was going down to Pure Records in Cyprus, and I was making purchases. To be honest, to be perfectly honest, and and just in critique, Unmasked was the biggest disappointment on this list for 1980.
There's a lot of people who would agree with you. I wouldn't be one of them.
I understand. I know. And in reflection, it's a great album.
I love Unmasked. It's
It's
very great melodies. It's good songwriting.
It's true, but remember, I have the Ace of Spades to put up against it as well, and that's
I take Unmasked over Ace of Spades any day.
I went backwards to Def Leppard because I started with High and Dry,
Yeah, that was their
and it was
debut.
different. Mutt Lange wasn't there yet on that one. I would have to say On Through the Night would be my bigger disappointment album.
Yeah.
After comparing it to, because they're already another Def Leppard album I started with. So
Yeah, On Through the Night is definitely does not sound like High and Dry or Pyromania. If you're
Well,
already,
I can listen to it now, no problem. But
yeah,
back then, it was
it's a
kinda
little
like,
bit more new wave of British heavy metal sounding. You can
If-
see how they fit into that group
Mm.
on that album.
Wizard of Oz was amazing to me. I mean,
I had that
our
record.
introduction to Randy Rhoads. Ozzy goes solo or gets kicked out, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, I mean, to go with that
Both
album,
happened.
that was probably the one I played the most. Was probably Blizzard.
Great record.
Yeah, the standouts for me would be Maiden, Ace of Spades, Back in Black, Blizzard of Oz, British Steel, and Heaven and Hell.
The record that I burned the grooves out on though was Permanent Waves for me.
Hmm.
I burned the grooves out on Permanent Waves.
I'm not a Rush fan yet. I didn't come until Moving Pictures, which is next.
I'm still waiting.
Oh,
There's no whoa about that. Someone just missed the. Not only did they miss the bus, they missed the bus stop.
So landmark albums just don't come out like this anymore.
No.
You know, this is during the heyday of releasing records and people bought records and they
And Chad,
listened to the records.
There are several landmark records on this list, on this 1980 list.
For sure.
And Permanent Waves is, to be clear, there.
Oh yeah, Burden
Just
Waves
throwing
is
it
a
out
lamb.
there.
Well,
It is.
All of those. Animal Magnetism by Scorpions, British Steel, Judas Priest. I mean, and
So
you-
many.
Although Diamond Head didn't become as popular in the United States as they were in Britain,
Right.
Lightning to the Nations that's
That's
important
huge.
record.
Mhm.
Some other landmark releases that weren't heavy metal that came out in that same year: John Lennon, Double Fantasy,
Mm.
REO Speedwagon, High Infidelity, Pat Benatar, Crimes of Passion, Steely Dan, Gaucho, The Police, and Yada and Dada, Queen, The Game. All these albums came
Yeah.
out in 1 year.
True.
It's insane.
All right, so 1980,
Yes.
we see MTV is on. It's coming, and
And video
all
killed the
of
radio
this
star.
music right here that's being released it becomes mainstream.
That's right.
So by the time we get to 1984, these are the releases in 1984.
Did anything come out in 82 or 83?
Yes, lots of stuff, tons of stuff.
So we
Nothing at all.
But we really don't care about that.
okay.
Moving Pictures came out in 1981. Pyromania is in there. There's a ton. But 1984, that's known as kind of an epic year of landmark records. So
In a book.
It's a big year.
here are the releases that came out in 1984. Van Halen, 1984. Imagine that. Metallica, Ride the Lightning. Iron Maiden, Power Slave. Judas Priest, Defenders of the Faith. Dokken, Tooth and Nail. Queensryche, The Warning. Dio, The Last in Line. Twisted Sister, Stay Hungry. I'm Not Finished. Kick-Axe, Vices. Saxon, Crusader. Scorpions, Love at First Sting. Kiss, Animalize. Deep Purple, Perfect Strangers. Whitesnake, Slide It In. Bon Jovi's debut album. Triumph is putting out Thunder 7 at this time. Anthrax debut album, Fistful of Metal. Wasp's debut album, Wasp. TNT, Knights of the New Thunder. Quiet Riot, Condition Critical. Y&T and Rock We Trust. Pantera, Projects in the Jungle. Rush, Grace Under Pressure. Rat, Out of the Cellar. Sammy Hagar, VOA. And just some other landmark releases just to get these out of the way. Prince's Purple Rain also came out in 1984. Born in the USA from Bruce Springsteen. Unforgettable Fire by U2. Like a Virgin from Madonna. Heartbeat City, The Cars, Bryan Adams, Reckless. These were all giant records in 1984. One looking back who doesn't understand living during this time would think this was a lifetime of album releases
Mhm.
to get all these epic records. And here they all are in 1984. Now, this one different than 1980 for me.
You're
I
living
had
this.
all these records.
You're living this.
You know, you did talk about some debuts here too. You already mentioned them, but we have Queensryche, Bon Jovi, Anthrax, and Wasp.
And
Rat.
Oh, Cellar, yeah.
So I mean, a pretty
Now,
big year on
Rat
debuts
had
as
already
well.
had that EP that was circulating, at least in California,
Yes.
with You Think You're Tough and Tell the World.
We talked about
Um,
this before too, with Kick-Axe, Vices being Chad and I's favorite.
Yeah, and
Out of
there's
the-
not a bad song on that whole entire album. A lot of these albums, There's not a lot of filler on this whole list, even when you go through all the tracks on every album.
I got my very first CD I ever bought was Slide It In. That was
Really?
yeah, first one ever. No,
Notable
I had
mention?
tons of records, but I didn't have.
Right. Well, CDs were just coming out.
Yes, for even you old folks,
This
I
is
had
a
some
notable
8-tracks too.
mention.
Cassettes.
Notable mention. The first on this list, before other landmark releases, the first on the list, 1984, and Sammy Hagar VOA. It's interesting what would come out the following year. We aren't talking about 1985.
2 years later.
Is it 86? I thought it was
86 is
86.
5150. Yeah.
But to your story,
But
go
very
ahead.
early.
But to my story,
Two
we have a combination of those two giants
giants. Voice of America
coming
or
together,
1984.
and creating something that,
Kind of the best of both worlds.
wow. I saw what you did there.
You see that what I just did
saw
there?
what you did there. Nice, Rusty
We should
Bones.
go to that concert.
Nice, Rusty
Oh, wait,
Bones.
we are.
Indeed. Dan, so for you, looking back at both these years, when you look back at 1984, which albums did you go back and you've...
I mean, the standouts for me would be Van Halen, 1984, Ride the Lightning for sure, Power Slave, Perfect Strangers.
Have you spun Defenders of the Faith much, Judas Priest?
Not a whole lot out of Judas. That's one that I need to kind of listen to more. I mean, for some reason, I've listened to Screaming for Vengeance.
You gotta
know.
listen. Defenders of the Faith is Screaming for Vengeance with good production.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, you like Turbo,
Yeah.
and you like Screaming for Vengeance,
Mhm.
and this one's right in
Right in the
between
middle.
there.
Yeah.
So, which albums? I mean, we've talked about Van Halen, obviously, and we all love that album. We've talked about Ride the Lightning, and we love that album. Iron Maiden, Power Slave. I mean, that to me was I became an Iron Maiden fan during Peace of Mind, so this is the first album that is released that I'm waiting for. That album was phenomenal.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
It blew them into the stratosphere even more. I saw the Power Slave tour 3 times in California because they just kept on touring that record.
Wow.
You know, for me, why weren't they bigger? Y&T's on here. What's
Yeah.
a rocket We
And
Trust?
Rock Me Trust is a great record.
Yes, it
Don't
is.
Stop Running. We've talked about this. Why wasn't that band bigger? But that wasn't their debut album. But I mean, it was a Y&T great album. And then for me, it'd be TNT, another one. Why weren't they bigger? I
Yeah.
love TNT.
We'll get
Tony
around to that
Harnell's
one.
voice is great. Ronnie Latico on guitar is guy jams on guitar.
Well, you got Dawkins, Tooth and Nail. I love that record. That almost felt like a debut record because Breaking the Chains was released a couple different times. It feels very, garage put together. So Tooth and Nail felt like the first studio release. So that's
really
so
where-
Dawkins on the scene.
Really, people started hearing it from Alone Again, Into the Fire, and
Yeah.
Just Got Lucky. I mean, there's a
Exactly.
lot of great songs that came off of that album.
Yeah. And then you hear George Lynch. I mean, his guitar work on Tooth and Nail it's
Twisted Sister, their biggest videos, right? I Want to Rock. We're Not Gonna Take It. You still hear those songs today.
The ballad on Stay Hungry is one of the best ballads, in my opinion, of all ballads, called The Price.
Mhm.
Do you remember
Price
that
We're
song?
Gonna Pay. Yeah.
Really, I love the angst in his voice when he sings that song. Kick Axe Vices. I mean, come on. Queensryche, The Warning. We're going to get into Queensryche in the future,
Very soon.
I'm sure. But, I mean, that's their debut record. The EP had been out with Queen of the Reich and Lady Wore Black and Knight Rider. And so I'd been listening to that EP. And then that record came out. And that's why Queensryche's one of my favorite
Yeah,
bands of all time.
You can even
And
do
here's
with
where they began.
You can even do with Dio. Which is the best album? Is it Holy Diver? Is it Last in Line? I mean, both of them are great albums. I'm just saying, like, Last in Line is a great album.
Exactly.
Always
Yeah,
a
so you got
mystery.
sophomore albums here: Ride the Lightning, Last in Line, Tooth and Nail.
Quiet Riot, sophomore album, right?
Yes, Quiet
for
Riot's-
what they're known for, not really.
Yeah, well,
not
yeah.
really sophomore, but really with their Metal Health to this one. Yes, they did have some Randy Rhoads stuff too before that, but
And then Projects in the Jungle is a sophomore album, Pantera. which again, I will forever fly the flag of Project in the Jungle. It is bar none the best Pantera record ever. And most people don't even know it exists. Even Pantera fans.
All right, well,
Nash.
All right.
what are we gonna do? Put your heads
What
down.
are we doing
One
about
hand
this?
up. What are we? Close your eyes. Raise, lift your hand.
We didn't even talk about Love at First Sting. Every freaking song on that.
All right, let's talk about that.
It's a landmark in music. All of it. All of it. All of it.
And we have to talk about Kiss, right?
We have to talk about Kiss. There's no makeup at this point.
This is the second record with no makeup.
No makeup.
It's one of their more rocking records.
This was the year. This was the tour that I saw Kiss in the front row.
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh.
Heaven's on fire.
Yep. And this is the short stint with Mark St. John on guitar.
Yep.
He played on the album. He tried to do the tour. They brought Bruce in to
Wasn't he having some kind of
Play.
hand issues or something?
he did. He had some sort of
Some kind of-
arthritic issue that he never got through.
Yeah, he
And
only,
so
he only
Bruce
had a
was-
couple gigs, right?
Yeah, he played like a couple half shows where he came out and played the first part, and then Bruce played the second half of the show.
Yeah.
Because he was having problems and stuff. And
I honestly
that's how Bruce ended up
taking the
sneaking
gig.
his way in
But
there.
I honestly don't know how Gene and Paul would stand for that at all. At all.
I don't
This
think-
is
yeah,
pre-
they
this
really
is
wouldn't.
prior to Eric Carr's health issues. I mean, this is the first time that there's health issues in the band and something going on. But it
Well, at this point, Kiss is reeling. They lost Ace.
Yeah.
They had Vinny
Yeah.
for really just one album marketing wise. He was on Creatures of the Night, but
Right.
he was only marketed on Lick It Up. Now all of a sudden they're changing again. So they're not quick to throw Mark St. John away because they've just been through this and
Right.
it wasn't fun.
right.
So to
He's
me,
a
they
good
were
guy.
trying to hold on to
He's a good player.
some
He's a good
stability,
guy.
and it just
Right.
didn't work out until Bruce came in, and then he finished out the non-makeup years with some great albums, some
And was the
great
second
records.
longest tenured guitarist in the band.
Oh yeah,
Tommy,
behind
that's
Tommy
great.
Thayer.
Behind Tommy Thayer.
So
And then Ace.
Wasp debut album comes out. That's a pretty shocker. There was an EP preceding that, which I won't even mention the title on here, but the debut album coming on the heels of that. And I remember going to concerts at Long Beach and seeing their flyers left after the shows
Mm-hmm.
when they started playing. And I mean, you got the pictures that they had with skulls and blood coming out of them. They were trying to be shocking.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Blackie it was a nouveau Kiss kind of thing. They were taking Gene's persona and kind of trying to blow it up onto the stage.
Well,
Not-
totally. Blackie was taking Gene and Paul because
Yeah.
the way Blackie would move around on stage back then was very much Paul's type moves.
Right.
So, but that album is great. There's not a bad song on that record.
So the question, I think what we're trying to get at is what was more influential. I would postulate that we had to have 1980 before we had 1984, but the rock that
That's a
came
very
there-
good observation.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. What I'm saying is this.
What are you saying?
The rock being as foundational as it was in 1980 created an environment that allowed a 1984
It's a
to
great
actually
point.
happen.
Great point.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, like, if it came down to personal taste, I would choose 1984 because it has more albums and songs that I've listened to and related to over the years. But in terms of like important, I would probably pick 1980 because of what you said. It's like, to me, it's like 1980 was the influence and 84 was more of the legacy, and then the 80 was like innovation and 84 was evolution.
What year
that
had
was
the
good.
most impact on the heavy metal genre?
I'd say 1980.
And you say 1980.
I would say 80.
What's your vote there, Rusticles?
Well, if we're talking on the heavy metal side, 1980. If we're talking the hard rock side, 1984.
Well, apparently I'm not.
So you're on the fence.
Apparently
Oh, for
I'm
what?
not
I mean, what
in the
year would I
minority
choose?
tonight.
Yeah, what's the answer to that question?
Well, the answer to the question, I answered the question. The one that I'm choosing would be 1984. If I had to package up all the albums and take them with me somewhere, I'm packaging 1984.
Come on, Rusticles, let's go.
Well, just by the sheer volume, and being that literally every album on both of these lists are great, just by the sheer volume, 1984 is what I would choose if that was the question. But 1980, I agree with Steve in the point that he made. 1980 is when the genre starts. It really starts right here in 1980. And everything branches off, and you can see all the way by 1984, these are the branches. 1981, 82, it's slowly just becoming what the world is listening to, and it takes over the world.
Second.
The rock and roll tree that we love.
Van Halen 1 was before 1980.
But nobody was
Highway
calling
to
that.
Hell.
Nobody was calling that heavy metal.
AC/DC.
I would even allow that argument. You got a Highway to Hell, you got a Van Halen.
For sure.
That's right. And those are roots of that same tree.
You got Judas
And they
Priest
fit
in
in
the
this
70s.
genre, but they also fit outside of this genre.
Absolutely.
We got
And
Judas
This
Priest,
is
you
where
got
the
this other-
genre becomes the genre.
Well, but in
AC/DC exists on its own. AC/DC is AC/DC. Van Halen is Van Halen.
What about Judas Priest?
There are those bands that are, I wouldn't say Judas Priest is at that level.
But there were 70s.
Oh, yeah, they're there.
Y&T.
For sure. For sure. That's, I mean, you
But
can go all
Billy
the way back
Squire could
to
kind of
Led
fall into
Zeppelin
that.
and Deep
Right.
Purple
I don't know
and
when
the
yours is
Beatles.
going.
We could go all the way back to where it all began. But where the
greatest
hard rock,
heavy metal band.
heavy metal genres began to splinter off and become a thing. This is where it first feels defined to me, 1980.
Well, if we go with 1980, if I agreed with you guys, we'd all be wrong. So they're both great years. Why don't we let the audience decide? You went with 1984, right?
Good call.
Well, I would
Dano?
same thing. If I had to take a pile of records to an island, it would be the records from '84. But if I had to pick the most influential year,
78.
1980.
Oh.
The Dungeon recommends.
I got Steve Gorman. He wrote a book. He's the drummer of the Black Crowes. I started this book about 3 days ago, and I'm already about 40% through it. It's a you won't put it down one. If you know if you like the Black Crowes, you won't put the book down.
I've got a band called Snapcase. They're out of the 90s hardcore scene. Kind of a helmet sound. So check them out. They're on most of their releases, I believe, are on Victory Records. You can find them on any streaming platform. They're called Snapcase. Really, really good 90s hardcore.
Thank you for listening to the Rock and Roll Dungeon. Until next time.
See you, everybody.
Alert.